Hey, what's up, my friends? John Hiley here with the Tactical Dent Tech YouTube channel, Tactical Dent Tech Facebook group, and Tactical Dent TX, your repair source in North DFW. And we are looking at a door jamb dent. Yes, that is right. We're going to go in here and fix this door jamb dent. Now I'm going to go ahead and detrim this kick plate right above the door jamb, and mainly why I am unloosening this. I'm actually trying to pull right here, and honestly it feels like it's trying to break, so I'm like, okay, well, let's just work around it for now, and if I get to the point where I can't work around it, I will figure out how to get this thing off. So I go ahead and pull the rubber grommet up, and you can see the dent down there. Very weird light positioning here. The dent looks a lot smaller in this light because the light is hovering right over top of it, which is okay. It's going to be great for this tutorial. It's going to be great for visuals. A little bit later, I am going to switch this light out. Hey guys, and this is the Bull Kick slide hammer, and this is the Sergio's gold cold glue that I'm going to be using. There we go. Nice little pull. The way this cold glue works is typically it just has like a warm-up period. That's the only way that I can really explain it. As I start to pull on this damage, it's going to continue to bite harder and harder. And one of the things I love about cold glue is that you can pull a dent without necessarily over pulling it. So I give up on the small one, and I go to the larger Bull Kick with a little bit of a larger tab. It's like a nickel-sized tab on the end of this that's got a little bit more cold glue. This panel has no flex at all, and you can see that it's really starting to pull it at this point. So I'm kind of pulling down, and I'm letting it fire on its own. Combination of letting it fire on its own and taking my own pulls. So you can see here, I'm going to clean this off with the Rupes residue remover. That's the blue. You get that at Anson PDR Tools. Fastest shipping, best place to get it, most reasonable price. And so I am going to literally work around this kick plate for now. Here a little bit later, I think I'll pull it off. Right now, it's not too big of a deal. But at a certain point, as I was saying earlier, I am going to switch out to my mini light. I actually completely forgot that I had the mini light. I bought it at the Mobile Tech Expo this year, and it's just kind of sitting over there on the table, and I forgot that I had it. But I'm going to try that here a little bit later in the tutorial. I'm actually glad that I used this bigger light through most of the tutorial because you guys can see this way better in this light. And you guys see what I'm using here. I'm using a soft tip Knockdown. That will be very gentle on the edges of this first pull. So I don't want to disrupt it. The problem with these door jambs, they can start going south on you. And if they start going south on you and cause a mess, it's going to look worse than if you just would have left it alone to begin with. So there we go. Nice little pull there. You can kind of see the residue that is left with cold glue. The Rupes residue remover works way better than alcohol. We typically use 99% alcohol to clean off glue when we use it, hot glue. It does not work well as well for the residue when it comes to cold glue. So I always keep some of this. I know I've heard some of you guys say, well, I use degreaser and all these kind of things. Yeah, that all works if you want to smell like degreaser all day long. The stuff has a kind of a coconut smell to it. And you can see that I am doing some knockdown work now with the firing pin. That's the actual name of this. In fact, no, this is actually the Pee-wee. This is a little bit sharper. So I'm going in and trying to open that little low back up, but I'm doing it in such a way where I don't get as much collateral damage by going with that sharper tip. You just got to be very careful. There's the temptation to beat some holes, meaning put some pecker marks down in that thing, and that's what we don't want. Now, what I do find is that the door jambs, they scuff a little bit, right? And so I think it's just, I don't believe they spray as much clear coat inside the door jambs as they do, the exterior of the vehicle for obvious reasons. Doesn't need to be as protected. It's not in the sun, and doesn't really get as much water. It's got a seal around the edge of the door. So you can see here doing some knockdown work. It's so funny. I had some people in my last tutorial. If you guys haven't seen it, the last tutorial was that I called it the impossible rail dent because that's what everybody said, that it was going to be impossible. And I get some people that say that I tell too many stories and I talk too much. Well, I'd like to say YouTube has knobs, but it has a button. Click that button and unfollow me. This is just me. This is the way I am. I'm going to tell stories, and this is one of the reasons why people like to tune into my content. So I'm just going to stay original, and you can keep giving me suggestions. I actually like that. It gives me a little boost to my algorithm when you comment there. So I'll keep taking the suggestions. I just won't exactly listen to them. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. Oh, that's what I love about the internet. Interesting enough, a long time ago when I had YouTube videos, I used to have glasses and was a much little chubbier, round version of myself. And I still remember the first time YouTube used to give emails to you when somebody commented on your video. And I still remember the first time somebody told me to shut my fat ass mouth. And it was an email sent to me. It was like the title of the email is the way YouTube used to do it. And I learned a long time ago. That was early on YouTube. I learned a long time ago to, if you don't have thick skin, you can't really be on social media. So look at that. I told a story about the people who don't want me to tell stories, and it turned into a story. Imagine that. Knockdown work here, guys. I know y'all were going to love this door jamb tutorial just simply because it's unique. Occasionally, I think years ago I probably would have said no because, the door jambs are different. Guys, if you ever question something like this, just get in there. If you're a PDR tech, tap it with your hand, feel it out a little bit. This thing just kind of reminds you of a rail dent, Look at that. That hooked up really good there. Just kind of reminds you of a rail, the exterior of a vehicle, a roof rail, but it's inside the door jamb. I believe, a lot of the earlier vehicles, some of us that were working on them late 90 vehicles, y'all know that it was near impossible back then. And I mean, even, into the mid 2000s, depending on the make and model, this stuff you wouldn't be able to do this. But nowadays you can do it. I actually understand why this guy wants it fixed. He got his windows tinted, and it essentially believe it happened at the window tint place. And I mean, this is a Cadillac V Escalade. Very nice car. I mean, I just loved working on this thing and just being around it, being a car guy. I loved it. And the client was actually just waiting there inside my lobby. And the interesting thing is, I've been talking about this, guys, and this is the large knockdown here. I like this because it's giving me a little bit more length here. And so the client told me that the Cadillac dealership, they said, no way that this could be fixed. Their dent technician is what the service manager says. This probably didn't come from the dent technician, but said that he didn't like touching, anything like this, especially that it's in a door jamb. And so this is another one that was the gentleman was told it could not be done, and he brought it to us. So one of the differences between me and a lot of technicians down here in the DFW marketplace is that I originated in Ohio, where we didn't get much hail. That was my original location was in Ohio. I'm actually from Dayton, Ohio, and had a shop in Centerville for 15 years. And, we didn't get a lot of hail, so this was the type of stuff that I had to fix every day. Now, if I was in a hail-prone region, I might have just stuck to only doing hail because, truth be told, it's better money. It's honestly, it's better money than door dings. But I've got a ton of experience in door dings, large dents, I got to say that I'm one of the earlier pioneers that started pioneering some of this large dent removal with many others. But I was one of the ones that was very early on, and I'm known in the industry for my education and teaching people and really pushing the limits of what can be done with paintless dent removal. And that's just who I am. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to do some of the repairs that I do, but it's just what suits me. And so here's a little mini light. This right here is that James Lee Elimident mini light. Now, you remember I told you that the reflection was going to look terrible in the videos compared to the other reflection? And by the way, I did pull off that kick plate all the way as well. Thing just started getting annoying, and I had to pull it off so I could connect the magnet to this little mini light. So the fog in this mini light is actually amazing. It just doesn't film well. The fog in this mini light, same type of fog that you see in the light you were looking at, but for whatever reason, when you put the camera on this thing, it just kind of blows out the, you lose the focus really. And so, but I had to put this in there because I just couldn't get that tight reflective angle. I don't think I ever fully got the tight reflective angle, but I got this thing to the point to where if you never knew it was there, you'd never notice it. The client tried to find it, he couldn't find it, and that in a situation like this without removing the door, and he didn't want to remove the door. I did tell him that if we removed the door, it would be like that next level perfection. But we got it to the point to where, again, he couldn't see it. I was having a hard time finding it, and it worked out well. And I just don't think I could have gotten it to the level that of this repair without this little tiny mini light, because it really tightens up my reflection angle. And when you got a real tight, flat reflection, you can actually get the panel real tight and flat. My light, the big light in there was just a little bit elevated too high. So bringing this thing down real nice and close to the panel and putting it as far back as I possibly could is what works well with this. Now you can see here and here taking some more pulls. And this is me just being very particular, and there was a little tiny, what we call a shallow. And what does that mean? It's a very, very tiny little soft dent left behind. And, and some of that's pulling it up, tapping it down, pulling it up, tapping it down, and then you go in to tap it down, and maybe you hit it just a little smidge low. So you got to go in there and, tap out that. You got to pull it again and then go in there and tap out that high spot. And you can see here, most of this tutorial, I've been using this Pee-wee Knockdown, which is a very tight, very precise peak plastic. And this is from Anson PDR Tools. You'll hear me mention them because I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but they're actually down here in Burleson, Texas. And they are the largest, or at least one of the big ones, distributor of paintless dent removal tools. So because they're so close by, and they're also the ones that distribute my tactical dent handles, the dent handles that I created, I go down there often. I use them a lot. So right here is that 1-inch flex buffer. And again, I feel like this thing, as I'm working it, it's getting tiny little just scuffs and mars. The clear coat isn't as shiny in that area as it once was. So it just takes a little bit of polish there to bring that shine right back out of it. And that's Koss Chemie compound. That's a flex buffer with the 1-inch pad. That flex is amazing. You can actually quickly interchange the head of the buffer, and you can go into a 3-inch orbital. But what you seen was the 1-inch rotary. And also you can sand with it. It's got a particular interchangeable tip that you can put a sanding pad on there. Very, very nice tool. Expensive tool. I think that thing runs about $500. Comes with 2 batteries. Very nice. People have been asking me about that tool. It's great. I honestly use a Rupes as well. A Rupes 3-inch buffer, and it's an orbital, and I love that. But I gravitate to this flex now. It's just quick, convenient, And for paintless dent removal, that 1-inch rotary function is just incredible. All right, doing a little knockdown work. And you can get 1.5-inch pads. So if you got a 1-inch rotary, you want to get the 1.5-inch pads, and you can get them off Amazon. Plenty of brands there. I can't remember the brand, but I got a little bit of a cheaper brand because they had a variety pack, and them buffing pads are just as good as the Rupes buffing pads or the Koschemis. They're really good. All right, there we are. Knockdown work. Right here is the before, my friends. Look at that. Nice shot. And right here is the after. There you have it. Very, very good. Again, I wouldn't say absolutely flawless, but pretty darn close. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. And as usual, I'll see you on the next one.